And then go ahead, Kimberly, then Sonia.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hi.
Hey, hey.
I have a very dear friend who
Mhm.
called me and she in a week she'll be going to have tests. But she's lost like 40 pounds and she is having trouble. She just can't eat. She feels it doesn't feel right when she eats or drinks. So I wondered if there was any oil I could send her that could help her.
So
until she finds
do
out
we
more.
know what's like? Does she have a history of something, or is this just something that's come on? And
Yeah, and they don't know. And so they're gonna do tests and like, serious tests in like a week and a half. And I didn't know if there was just something I could send her.
is she excessively thirsty or anything like that?
No, no. Um, she's a real introvert. So when she called me to tell me this, she doesn't give you a lot of information, but I know her. So for her to call me and tell me, um, she's upset. And I don't know, anything, maybe even just something to help calm her to get through this until she finds out what it is.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I would say about this, and any time that a person's having a hard time like eating or stomach's upset, I mean, you could start looking at the nervous system of the rest and repair, also known as the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. That can be out of whack. It can affect your appetite, nausea, even can cause like, bowel issues, like going to the bathroom and things like that. And so, anytime with something like that, um, we look at like what we'd call a stress plague digestive tract. And the stress is usually more physical, not necessarily psychological, but it's just like things not working right. And it could be a shift in the nervous system. And so with something like that, I would use like anise or tarragon or rosemary verbena. Now, for general, like overall, like toning and stimulating properties for the whole digestive system, ginger can always be a good one. It's also anti-inflammatory. It would also help address like loss of appetite, things like that nature. And so that one could be a potential as well. The tarragon would be super soothing and relaxing. Both of these you would need to take internal. Like, if she inhaled it, it would help. But if she took a few drops internally, it would help.
Okay.
The thing that I'm like, as I'm talking this out, I keep looking at her. I would really want to try to balance out the autonomic nervous system, which is sympathetic, which is fight, flight, and then parasympathetic, which is rest and repair. I suspect that she has an imbalance there. And it would make sense with the introverted component. It would make sense with the digestive component. It adds up and makes a lot of sense. And so lemongrass can be very good, be it either inhaled or a few drops taken internally. And as I'm talking all this out with you, I think that would be my first choice.
Okay.
It's inexpensive. It's something she could inhale as much as she wanted. She could take a couple drops of it internally. It would help, like taking it internally, it would help balance out the nervous system, which would start helping to move lymphatic function or lymph through the body. I suspect part of the issue in the gut, she might have a health issue, but it could be that the gut is just toxic. It's a
Okay.
very common thing these days, very, very common.
Okay.
And it's just like the lymph just stagnates in the gut and the gut just gets toxic and you start losing appetite and things don't work as well and things start hurting. And, it's just this weird downward spiral. You get food sensitivities and food allergies, and certain parts of the gut will start hurting and cramping. And it's just, ugh. So I would probably start off with that. And the other thing with lemongrass, it's very soothing. It's very relaxing.
Okay.
And so I think it kind of hits a lot of things for you on your concern list, and
Yeah.
buys her some time for her to be able to go see the doctor.
Right,
you know?
right. And,
Yeah.
and for me, I just want to, show her that I care,
Sure.
and that I know she would like something like this, an oil.
Mhm.
So, okay. And then for me,